Guess what happened? We had a blue screen. I have not had a blue screen in a long time. I don't think I've ever had a blue screen on my fucking machine. But we fucking blue screened. That's crazy. Jesus, bro. Hmm? Okay, well, let's just fucking keep going. Let's just keep going. Yeah, we are so back.
For the past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been allowed into our country, a feat which everyone said was absolutely impossible. Do you remember when Joe Biden said that he needed Congress to pass legislation to help close the border? He was always...
I don't remember what exactly I was trying to argue. God damn it. Oh yeah. But yeah, I have no idea if he is like. Are you even able to sort of just close the border via like executive order or something? Like I know with the Laken Riley Act, they can just arrest migrants if they suspect them of doing some form of illegal activity, right? And just like detain and try to fucking arrest them. It's a really terrible fucking goddamn act, and that was shit that was passed during the Biden administration. Shouldn't you, in reality, be a big fan of that? Like something that basically a gift that was given to you in order to do whatever like immigration enforcement and fucking crackdowns that you want to do. Use the Lake and Riley Act as a justification for that. But again, a lot of the reasons for as to why Donald Trump is uh, or what he's doing rather is illegal in terms of immigration enforcement is because he's going in and generally speaking ICE will come in sometimes on private property. You need a warrant in order to go on private property to do arrests, so they can't do shit. And the justification that ICE is generally using in order to do their immigration fucking crackdown is extremely fucking flimsy at best. And it's sort of like, I'm trying to remember what the exact term was. It's like some executive absolution, not absolution. It's some kind of executive thing. I forget the term, what the name of the term is, but it's some kind of like executive thing where they say like, oh yeah, Trump is able to do this because the executive branch said that we can. It's like, well, that's not how that works. It's typically judges who have to warrant or give out warrants for you to go arrest people, especially on like private property and stuff like that. You can't like just randomly run up on people. And even if you do just randomly fucking run up on people, let's say on like more public property, like I don't know, like a sidewalk or some shit, uh, there's still constitutional rights that even if you are an illegal migrant, the 14th Amendment stipulates that so long as your feet are on the soil of the United States of America, you still have the exact same constitutional fucking protections. I'm not saying the sort of position, not position. I'm not. I'm not exactly saying the sort of like amendment of the Constitution exactly correct, but it more or less is worded that way. And also, Fourth Amendment. Fourth Amendment, like you can't just do illegal search and fucking seizure. You can't just rid of habeas corpus as well, something that Christy Noble doesn't understand. You can't just randomly deport people without being given them a trial for them to argue their position in a court of their peers. So you can't just randomly just be like, oh, yeah, we're just going to detain and deport a bunch of people and ask questions later. There's going to be a bunch of lawsuits, and you're probably going to lose those lawsuits, and it's going to be a complete fucking embarrassment for you.
Biden said that he needed Congress to pass legislation to help close the border. He was always blaming Congress and everyone else. As it turned out, we didn't need legislation. We just needed a new president. We inherited the worst border anywhere in the world, and we quickly turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country. In other words, in a few short months, we went from
So
worst
strong.
to best. We're deporting criminals, restoring safety to our most dangerous cities. Just take a look at Washington, D.C. It's at
I
levels.
wonder what best border means in this particular criterion. Like, what does that mean? That's so strange to me. Also, like Washington D.C. Unironically, the only reason why he did a military occupation of Washington D.C. is because he saw some homeless people in a fucking goddamn, in a goddamn fucking tent while headed to fucking golf, and then he was just like, "Oh, that's disgusting." Well, you know what? We're going to now do an illegal occupation of Washington D.C. and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Of safety that we've never seen before. And they decimated the bloodthirsty foreign drug cartels. We did that all by ourselves with our people, and we're so proud of it because they were poisoning and destroying our population. Drugs brought in by ocean and by sea are now down 94%. We have broken the grip of sinister woke radicals in our schools, and control over those schools is back now in the hands of our great and loving states where education belongs. After rebuilding the United States military in my first term, and with the addition we are adding right now, we have
I mean, they're trying to abolish the fucking Department of Education, but whatever.
the most powerful military anywhere in the world, and it's not even close. I've restored
The NDAA, I think, passed, and you can't get IVF treatment with military families, but the Pentagon now has $900 billion to play with.
American strength, settled 8 wars in 10 months, destroyed the Iran nuclear threat, and ended the war in Gaza, bringing for the first time in 3,000 years peace to the Middle East, and secured the...
What? Dude, Israel has violated the ceasefire like over 700 fucking times, bro. Like, okay, bro. And you're wondering why, like, you're losing out to the further right flank of your fucking goddamn party because you keep saying shit like this. I guarantee you, he just made like 50 more groypers just with that alone.
release of the hostages, both living and dead. Here at home, we're bringing our economy back from the brink of ruin. The last administration and their allies in Congress looted our treasury for trillions of dollars, driving up prices and everything at levels never seen before. I am bringing those high prices
Let's not talk about the one big beautiful bill.
down and bringing them down very fast. Let's look at the facts. Under the Biden administration, car prices rose 22% and in many states 30% or more. Gasoline rose 30 to 50%. Hotel rates rose 37%. Airfares rose 31%. Now under our leadership, they're all coming down and coming down fast. Democrat politicians also...
Okay, Trump. What happened in particular during the earlier part of the Biden administration that may have contributed to that? COVID? No. Oh, that was a byproduct of fucking COVID. Whoa, who would have thought?
The cost of groceries soaring, but we are solving that too. The price of a Thanksgiving turkey was down 33% compared to the Biden last year. The price of eggs is down.
So he's not being... I've talked about this point before, but he's not being exactly honest when he says that. The reason why it's down 33%, he's talking about the Walmart Thanksgiving dinner bundle. The reason why the price is down 25% is because the brands that are in there are of lesser quality. It's of the cheaper Walmart brand. And also, there is less items within the bundle as well.
82% since March, and everything else is falling rapidly. And it's not done yet, but boy, are we making progress. Nobody can believe what's going on. Here are just some of the efforts that we have underway. You will see in your wallets and bank accounts in the new year. After years of record-setting falling incomes, our policies are boosting take-home pay at a historic pace. Under Biden, real wages plummeted by $3,000. Under Trump, the typical factory worker is seeing a wage increase of $1,300. For construction workers, it's $1,800. For miners, we're bringing back clean, beautiful coal. It's $3,300. And for the first time in years, wages are rising.
I'm pretty sure, by the way, that's just a complete lie. Unemployment has gone up. Also, the areas where most of the job losses have been suffering are in all the sectors that he just mentioned. The only areas where job numbers are going up, I think, are the healthcare sector. And the reason is for that is because of the aging population. The boomers are getting old, and there needs to be workers that fucking takes care of them.
Much faster than inflation. Remember that. The wages, just look at it. Wages are going up much faster than inflation. How big is that? Very importantly, there are more people working today than at any time in American history, and 100% of all jobs created since I took office have been in the private sector. Think of that. 100% of all jobs have been in the private sector rather than government.
Yeah, that's not the fucking win that you think it is, dude. For a country as big and as bureaucratic as the United States of America, basically funneling all those public sector jobs into the fucking private sector is not a good thing. But then again, like I said before, the only objective that conservatives have is just destruction of the administrative state. Like, that's literally it.
Government, which is the only way to make a country powerful and great. This historic trend will continue. Already, I've secured a record-breaking $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage increases, growth, factory openings, and far greater...
Wait, I thought it was like $19 trillion. Was it $20 trillion? You can never really tell exactly like what point it's at with Trump, because it's always been like 15 different numbers at some point in time.
National security. Much of this success has been accomplished by tariffs. My favorite word, tariffs, which for many decades have been used successfully by other countries against us, but not anymore. Companies know that if they build in America, there are no tariffs, and that's why they're coming home to the USA in record numbers. They're building factories and plants at levels we haven't seen. AI, automobiles. We're doing what nobody thought was even possible, not even remotely possible. There's never, frankly, been anything
like honestly, like imagine investing in some of the most useless fucking industries that are dying off. Investing in fucking cars, investing in fucking AI. Apataho, AI is an emerging industry. Are you seen that fucking goddamn AI bubble? Oh boy, when that fucking shit bursts, oh man, that's just going to come crashing down.
1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail. Totally failed. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. And that's said by every single leader that I've spoken to over the last 5 months. Next year, you will also see the results of the largest tax cuts in American history that were really accomplished through our great, big, beautiful bill, perhaps the most sweeping legislation ever passed in Congress. We wrapped 12...
Oh, yeah, literally the worst sort of parts of the great, big, beautiful bill is slated to be put into effect after the midterms, because again, with the Trump administration, they want to do everything possible to benefit politically, and as a byproduct, as a result of that, they don't want to face the music of their terrible fucking policies, especially to all the cuts to the social safety net they did to Medicare, to Medicaid, and also to SNAP. And the reason why I say Medicare is because the PAYGO stipulations were tripped by the cuts in the One Big Beautiful Bill, meaning that there's going to be further cuts to the social safety net. Thanks, Nancy Pelosi, for PAYGO. Very cool, very good. Making it such that, well, hey, it's actually going to be significantly fucking worse. Again, and this is a $1 trillion tax cut for the rich and himself.
Different bills up into one beautiful bill that includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. Under these cuts, many families will be saving between $11,000 and $20,000 a year, and next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time. Because of tariffs, along with the just passed One Big Beautiful Bill, tonight I am also proud to announce that more than 1,450,000, think of this, 1,450,000 military service members will receive a special we call Warrior Dividend before Christmas, a Warrior Dividend. In honor of our nation's founding in 1776, we are sending every soldier $1,776. Think of that. And the checks are already on the way. Nobody...
Wasn't there supposed to be Doge checks? Wasn't there supposed to be dividends from the tariffs as well? Isn't this like the third time that he's saying that there's going to be like random fucking checks coming in, and there haven't been any checks fucking coming in? And the reason why he's saying this over and over and over again is because he knows that that's going to play well politically, especially when he signs his fucking name on it, which was a smart move politically there by Trump, having all of the signature on those checks, right? Of course, Obama being the idiot that he is, saying like, let me be clear, you're not supposed to sign those things. It's going to be too personalized. It's not good politically. It's like, shut the fuck up, Obama. Like, you know what the fuck you're talking about, but whatever. How do you force no tax on Social Security because it counts as income? I have no idea. Boy meets many. Like, shouldn't that shit basically be exempt? Does the Social Security even count as fucking income in the United States of America? Like, the only people who get Social Security is typically seniors. Really? That's fucking insane to me. That should not be fucking taxed whatsoever. Okay, whatever. Nice fucking goddamn meme. The fact that that shit can be fucking taxed is fucking wild to me. It's just like, dog, what are you doing? That's only meant to be money for seniors so they can, I don't know, retire fucking gracefully and not have to be forced to eat fucking cat food. But, you know, whatever. You think Trump gives a fuck about any of that stuff? No. It's nonsensical, but whatever. I don't really fucking know because I don't know if he stipulated how he's going to enforce it. Like, is the IRS just not going to check for that stuff? I guess.
Understood that one until about 30 minutes ago. We made a lot more money than anybody thought because of tariffs, and the bill helped us along. Nobody deserves it more than our military, and I say congratulations to everybody. And by the way, we now have record enlistment in our military, and last year we had among the worst recruitment numbers in our military's history. What a difference a year makes. In addition, I'm doing what no politician of either party has ever done, standing up to the special interest to dramatically reduce the price of prescription drugs. I negotiated directly with the drug companies and foreign nations, which were taking advantage of our country for many decades, to slash prices on drugs and pharmaceuticals by as much as 400, 500, and even 600%. In other words, your drug costs will be...
Again, like the idea that he's negotiating for lower drug prices from foreign fucking countries is non-fucking sensical. Like, what are you fucking talking about? It's so incredibly fucking stupid. Like, you guys make a bunch of your own fucking goddamn drugs. For example, insulin gets heavily fucking goddamn produced within the United States of America. That shit's probably going to go back up because of a lot of the slashing and destructions of the Inflation Reduction Act, which went after in insulin fucking prices. And yeah, like other countries do pay way less for the same drugs. Yeah, because they're not negotiating with foreign countries. They're negotiating directly with their pharmaceutical companies, saying like, no, you're going to, if you want to operate in our market, you're going to set this price for these drugs, and you're gonna fucking like it. And they're just like, all right, I guess I fucking like it. That's how it works. But Trump would rather hyperfixate on like foreign countries because he thinks they're taking advantage of American pharmaceuticals and pharmaceutical companies in order to make a bunch of money off of Americans. Like, make it make sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Plummeting downward, and I used the threat of tariffs to get foreign countries who would never have done it to pay the cost of this giant dollar reduction. They stopped ripping us off, and it began as of 4 days ago. There has never been anything like this in the history of our country. Drugs have only gone up, but now they'll be going down by numbers never conceived possible. It's called Most Favored Nation, and no president has ever had the courage or ability to get this done until now. The first of these unprecedented price reductions will be available starting in January through a new website, TrumpRx.gov. And these big price cuts will greatly reduce the cost of health care. I'm also taking on the gigantic health insurance companies that have gotten rich on billions of dollars of money that should go directly to the people. The money should go to the people. That's you. So they can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower cost. It will be far better health.
So yeah, this is the current plan that the Republicans have come up with HSAs, the healthcare savings account. Yeah, this is the dumbest shit, by the way. I mean, like 1000% Boy Meets Mini. But basically, how the HSAs work from the sort of like understanding that I generally sort of have, basically like HSAs, the health savings accounts, are really only for the people who are the healthiest fucking possible, which being generally speaking like a lot more younger people, because if there is just one fucking issue, I don't know, you randomly like break your leg all of a sudden or whatever, the insurance company that's generally speaking offering the HSA will just like pull that fucking goddamn money. It's genuinely fucking insane. Yeah, insurance companies are too rich, but also buy insurance from them. It's nonsensical. Like, the only people that HSAs will provide coverage for are the healthiest of people. But that's not the people who need health insurance the most. The sickest among us need health insurance the most. Why? Because of the fact that they don't have to pay a bunch of exorbitant fucking goddamn premiums, bills, copays, like whatever, blah 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 blah. That's the fucking main issue, and that's why you generally are supposed to have and this is how public health insurance works, a giant pool where everybody is fucking paying into it and get the exact same service for everyone. There's a reason why Canada's healthcare system is still extremely fucking popular to this day. Like, for all the Americans who consistently talk about like, oh yeah, but like they're like really, really slow sometimes about certain issues. It's like, if someone has a significantly like lower priority problem on the rung, they're going to be like set further back in the fucking queue. Or if, say, it's a particular disease where there needs to be like more assessment, they're going to be set more back into the queue. Like, for example, um, say you have like early onset fucking cancer. Generally speaking, there's going to be like some early like X-rays, and then the hospital or the doctor will generally be like, okay, we need to like analyze this, send it to a specialist. They have to take a look at it. Blah 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 blah. So it's going to take some time because they're typically pretty busy themselves as well with a bunch of other patients, and it's going to take some time, consultancy, yada yada yada, and then they get to it. But it just depends on the fucking issue. Some stuff just does not need as much time in comparison to other things. And that's just how it is. Here, hospitals are so cut down, the waits are really long. I can only imagine why that's the case because of all the rural hospitals that are closing, right, Boy Meets Minnie? And a bunch of people are having to come in to the cities, travel long distances in order to come to the fucking city hospitals, which did not have their funding as cut.
Insurance. The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance companies rich. It was bad health care at much too high a cost, and you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's the Unaffordable Care Act, and everybody knew it. Again,
I don't know. Currently, there are House Republicans that are looking to defect, and yeah, it's nonsensical. Yeah, the Dems are demanding increases. It's stupid, but this is the same dude who suggested that the replacement for the Affordable Care Act are a bunch of HSAs. It's fucking nonsensical. It's ridiculous. But there's 4 Republicans who are about to cross over, sign a discharge petition with the Democrats in order to force a vote on the floor of the House for extension of the fucking ACA subsidies to be extended. Because it turns out it's a very, very fucking popular policy. It's popular. It just is.
The money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You get much better health care at a much lower price. The only losers will be insurance companies.
Again, like, how do fucking... Okay, just to, like, also talk about, like, you're going to be getting money so you could buy your own health care. Do you really expect your average fucking dumb fucking American to understand, like, what these sort of like the healthcare jargon, all this like insurance jargon is supposed to mean? No, fuck no. They're going to be more busy. Well, first off, education is already as shit as it is in America. Second off, like, do you expect these people to spend a bunch of time doing a heavy amount of research, understanding any of this shit? Fuck no. Like, why would they? They're more busy trying to survive because of your terrible fucking policies. So, like, do you really expect me to believe in my heart of hearts that you're doing this out of the best interest for the heart of the American people? Fuck no. No, you're just doing this because all of your medical insurance buddies that you probably have been asking for a repeal of the ACA probably for fucking decades. And you guys are just mad about the fact that Obama took your guys' policy, the Affordable Care Act and the Patient Protection Act. They always forget about the Patient Protection Act part, which is basically stipulates, and it's the better part of the ACA of Obamacare, right? The reason why they call it Obamacare is because they're also racist, but that's a whole different story. The Patient Protection Act is like the it's just generally better, right? It got rid of the excuse of pre-existing conditions that insurance companies would use in order to not give you insurance coverage. So, like, for example, let's say you get into a car accident and you end up at the fucking hospital. You can't pay for it out of pocket, obviously. So insurance is supposed to help cover for that. Well, if you call the insurance company, they could say, well, you know, can we really cover this? I mean, your family has had a history of cancer in it before. How do we not know that this accident was not caused by the cancer that your family has a history for? Complete fucking bullshit, by the way, that's even happening, but whatever. That was a thing that used to exist, and that got stamped down by the Obama administration in the PPA. So you can't trust these complete charlatans and fucking freaks within the healthcare industry. They are all demons. And that's how the profit motive within healthcare even works to begin with. It's about cutting off healthcare for people. It's genuinely fucking insane. Americans go to Mexico and Turkey for procedures. Really, Turkey? That's interesting that they go to Turkey. But yeah, like, doesn't surprise me whatsoever. They have fucking free healthcare. Makes sense that a bunch of people are just going to migrate over real quick. Be like, can I get this procedure? Because I can't get it in America because I'll go bankrupt medically.
That have gotten rich in the Democrat Party, which is totally controlled by those same insurance companies. They will not be happy, but that's okay with me because you, the people, are finally going to be getting great health care at a lower cost. Another major focus is the cost of energy. For years, the radical left Democrats exploited the green energy scam as an excuse to funnel many billions of dollars into their own massive slush funds as their energy restrictions drastically drove up prices, and they drove them up at record levels. Electricity costs surged 30.
So far, energy prices on all across the United States of America have gone up because of him specifically going after all those green sort of projects and initiatives in a bunch of red states, because it turns out they were actually pretty effective at bringing down a lot of energy prices. Heating bills are insane this year. Wouldn't be surprised. Boy meets Minnie.
To 100% under Biden, and the typical family lost $5,000 to $10,000 in higher energy costs. Think of that, $5,000 to $10,000 you lost. On day one, I declared a national energy emergency. Gasoline is now under $2.50 a gallon in much of the country. In some states, it, by the way, just hit $1.99 a gallon. And within the next 12 months, we will have opened 1,600 new electrical generating plants, a record, and it's a record that won't be beaten by practically, I would say, by anybody. We're certainly not very soon. Prices on electricity and everything else will fall dramatically. The Democrat inflation disaster, again, the worst in the history of our country, also robbed millions of Americans of home ownership and indeed the American dream. The yearly cost of a typical new mortgage increased by $15,000 under Democrat rule. In 11 months, we've already gotten that annual cost down by $3,000, and it's coming down a lot lower. Wait till you see. The numbers are going to be shocking. And I'll soon announce our next chairman of the Federal Reserve, someone who believes in lower interest rates by a lot, and mortgage payments will be coming down even further.
Hasn't Jerome Powell already been slowly bringing down the interest rates because of your terrible tariff policy, raising inflation? I think, like, inflation's currently at about 3.1%, up from about 2.2%, and that's all because of his tariff policies.
New year, and you will see this. In the new year, I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history. A major factor in driving up housing costs was the colossal border invasion. We have never been invaded. This is the worst thing that...
Complete fucking nonsense, by the way, that the border invasion... This is the same thing that J.D. Vance also said. Like, yeah, immigration is the reason why housing is going up. No, it's because housing just doesn't get fucking built within the United States of America because zoning laws are really, really fucking bad in the United States. That's why.
And frankly, in my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is the invasion at the border. The last administration and their allies in Congress brought in millions and millions of migrants and gave them taxpayer-funded housing while your rent and housing costs skyrocketed. Over 60% of growth in the rental market came from foreign migrants. At the same time, illegal aliens stole American jobs and flooded emergency rooms, getting free health care and education paid for by you, the American taxpayer. They also increased the cost of law enforcement by numbers.
Well, hold on. Didn't this guy also, as a result of ICE cracking down on, like, agriculture, like going around on like a bunch of different California farms and just like, I don't know, doing like slave catch, like unironic fucking slave catching of people, and also the hospitality business, which relies heavily on illegal migrant labor. Didn't he give a bunch of exemptions to them specifically from immigration enforcement? I'm just saying.
So high that they are not even to be mentioned. For the first time in 50 years, we are now seeing reverse migration as migrants go back home, leaving more housing and more jobs for Americans. In the year before my election, all net creation of jobs was going to foreign migrants. Since I took office, 100% of all net job creation has gone to American-born citizens. 100%. In the end, government either serves the productive, patriotic, hardworking American citizen, or it serves those who break the laws, cheat the system, and seek power and profit at the expense of our nation. Look at Minnesota, where Somalians have taken over the economics of the state and have stolen billions and billions of dollars from Minnesota and indeed from the United States of America. We're going to put an end to it. For so long as before my election, the vast majority...
I believe that there's already ICE immigration enforcement on Somali immigrants. There's like a couple of stories of them just randomly going after American-born Somalis within Minnesota because, again, ICE is a highly undisciplined, impetuous Gestapo little freak force who, well, basically just want to go after a bunch of people who they see have brown or fucking black skin because they're a bunch of racists. But whatever, dude. They're very fucking stupid. Wait, people are saying that Ilhan Omar is worth like $30 million? What's even the justification for that? Huh? That's very weird.
Majority of good and decent Americans were forced to watch as corrupt politicians plundered the halls of power, exploited our taxpayers, and pillaged every system that makes civilized society function. But not anymore, and you see that every day. Not anymore.
His one big beautiful bill, its approval rating, in the shitter. People do not like the one big beautiful bill. They see it as a blatant pillaging of the American treasury. And I did that. That was all me.
We're putting America first, and we are making America great again. Very simple. We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months,
I
our
don't think
border is
they
secure.
agree.
Inflation is stopped. Wages are up. Prices are down. Our nation is strong. America is respected, and our country is back, stronger than ever before. We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen. Soon we will host the World Cup and the Olympics, both of which I got. But most importantly, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. There could be no more fitting tribute to this epic milestone than to complete the comeback of America that began just 1 year ago. When the world looks at us next year, let them see a nation that is loyal to its citizens, faithful to its workers, confident to its identity, certain to its destiny, and the envy of the entire globe. We are respected again like we have never been respected before. To each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
I guess that's the end of it. I don't know, like complete cope address. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. It just complete fucking cope address. Inflation stopped. It's not. It's gone up. Cool. Housing terrible in the United States of America. Good luck finding a house. Unemployment rate terrible, very very bad. The jobs numbers. I believe even the October jobs numbers that was missed because of the government shutdown was also really fucking bad. Net loss of jobs. The immigration fucking crackdown. Nobody fucking agrees with it. The narrative in terms of crime that he's using in order to do illegal military occupations. No one fucking believes that. It's all a fucking bunch of hooey and bullshit. I don't even know why he's like doing this fucking address to the nation. I'll be quite honest. I guess he didn't announce his invasion of Venezuela here, so I guess there's that slight positive. Sure, whatever. And it's just a bunch of cope. Like, what else are you really supposed to say to this besides just copium? And we all know that the Epstein files, they're coming out real soon, are about to release. And so he has to, I don't know, try to talk about all of his, like, great, very good achievements, despite the fact that he is in the complete shitter in terms of every fucking policy prescription, even in crime and immigration. Terrible. But whatever. Very, very cool. And generally speaking, his policies are bad. Nobody fucking likes his general fucking demeanor. He's losing it more and more, and he knows that he's very, very like his approval rating is currently like mid 30s. That's insane. That's so low. That's terrible for an American fucking president. But yeah, like I don't really know what else to say besides this is just a cope address. I think this is just a fucking cope address to basically talk about, look at all this stuff that I've totally really have done, in order to deflect from the fact that the Epstein files are about to come out relatively soon. Like, I have no other way to assess this besides, well, just with that, simply fucking put. But yeah, I don't think there's really much else to say besides cope and fucking see Donald Trump. Your approval rating is in the shitter, and nobody likes your fucking goddamn policies. Very cool, very good. Further into Ilhan, basically her husband is in the wine business, has a few million, but 30 million is a made up figure. Just makes congressional salary. That's what I figured as well. And those millions are mostly assets, not cash. Gotcha. I mean, bro is a business owner, which makes a lot of sense. It's mostly going to be assets instead of cash for tax purposes. My birth month determines which Pokemon character I'm living with. And I got Brock? Based? I'll take Brock. Yeah, they're fine with, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene doing insider trading, Rick Scott, all these motherfuckers. Like, Literally, Rick Scott did the biggest instance of Medicaid fraud ever, ever, and all these motherfuckers are okay with that. But whatever, stupid. Asmongold crashes out, goes on a rant about immigrants who don't speak English. If you don't speak English, you don't deserve to be in the U.S. Okay. Stupid. He can't even speak English properly. Yeah, we've seen Asmongold attempt to form thoughts. He barely can fucking do it, but whatever. Alright. Final fucking bit. Ugh. So, in our latest sort of watch into Venezuela War Watch, aka Iraq 3 Electric Boogaloo, I guess the sort of justification that the Trump administration is now trying to use in order to do an invasion of Venezuela is to say that the oil that Venezuela has belongs to the Americans because of a technology that they have was given to the Venezuela. I'm not exactly sure where this is bearing out in terms of like the talking point. Like, what do they mean by this? Like, did a bunch of American companies like go in and build all the oil rigs or something? I'm not really sure because uh, Venezuela's like oil facilities and oil companies are owned by the state. They got nationalized by Hugo Chavez. So to say that it's like yeah it's actually all American, that it's our oil actually is genuinely fucking insane to me. Like I don't know. It's so far the latest attempt at another pathetic fucking talking point here by the Trump administration. But I don't know. Let's take a look at this. Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. It will only get bigger, and the shock to them will be like nothing they have ever seen before. Man, all this fucking build up, more fucking build up for what exactly? Just another Iraq war. You know, history is a very, very funny thing. It tends to never repeat itself, but it likes to rhyme a lot. I mean, unironically, uh, like he himself said on the campaign trail that, well, I don't understand. I thought my sanctions that I put on Venezuela was going to cause the country to collapse. So, and then we could have gone in and taken the oil. I just want the oil. It's always been about the fucking oil for these motherfuckers. Like that's why they want to fucking do this. It's genuinely insane. Yeah, so much for their anti-war fucking goddamn president. So, whatever. And I've seen like a bunch of discourse in like the sort of like more MAGA spheres. A bunch of them are for this, and there are some that are against this. But I do have to say how there are all these fucking goddamn hypocrites. It's very very funny. Bro says no more fucking war. This Gunther Eagleman man, just complete boot throater for the Trump administration, and the dude's just like, I, we need to paint our flag in the center of Venezuela. Yeah, we're gonna go to war now with Venezuela, despite the fact that bro has said no more fucking war. Same with Kevin Sorbo, no new fucking wars, and now they're all rah war with fucking Venezuela. It's incredibly fucking stupid. The attempt at manufacturing consent that the Trump administration went with here was really really bad to begin with, and is now just like 10 times more pathetic. Like they're just barely even trying to manufacture consent for this war. It's just pathetic. Like I don't know what else to really say. Until such time as they return to the United States of America all of the oil, land, and other assets that they previously stole from us. What? That's their fucking resources, bro. In their borders that they own with their state companies. Cope about it? Like Cope? Seethe? Malt? It's just blatant. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know what else is to say. I know that Marco Rubio is supporting this because he sees like the toppling of Venezuela as a way to also, I don't know, go after Cuba as well, which the U.S. still has in an embargo for some fucking reason. Very cool, very fucking good. And I think it's even gotten to the point where the Venezuelan Navy is now being deployed in order to escort their fucking oil tankers. It genuinely fucking insane that it's gotten to this point. The illegitimate Maduro regime is using oil from these stolen oil fields to finance themselves, drug terrorism, human trafficking, murder, and kidnapping. Sure, man, totally. For the theft of our assets and many other reasons, including terrorism, drug smuggling, and human trafficking, the Venezuelan regime has been designated a foreign terrorist organization. Thank you, one of the final vestiges of the Bush administration, giving the executive broad powers to designate whoever the fuck they want as a foreign terrorist organization, and can as such justify whatever military fucking action under the sun in order to, I don't know, go after who they perceive as their political enemies. Stupid. Therefore, today I am ordering a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela. So that's an act of war. A blockade. I think it's now, yeah. I think you guys are now at war with Venezuela. Because I need you people to think about this for 3 seconds. I know that thinking is very hard for Trump-like voters to do. How do you enforce a blockade? Through violence. What is the Trump administration going to do if a bunch of tankers decide to fucking leave in holes in the fucking blockade? Is he going to bomb the fuck out of them? Because again, it's just like the enforcement of no fucking fly zones that he also just randomly said, which is also an act of fucking goddamn war. People should have the freedom in order to be able to fly. Same with how people should also have the freedom to be able to travel in international waters. But I digress. Whatever happened to our heckin'-based anti-war sort of president? What happened to conservatives? Because he's just unironically declaring a fucking act of war here. It's fucking insane to me. Excuse me. The illegal aliens and criminals that the Maduro regime has sent to the United States during the weak and inept Biden administration. I wonder why a bunch of people emigrated from Venezuela as a result of this coup attempt that you did during your fucking goddamn presidency, that you admitted on the campaign trail that you were hoping that the sanctions that subsequently came from you being mad and salty about the fact that this coup attempt was a miserable fucking failure, decided to be like, well, fuck, my coup attempt was a failure, I need to slap sanctions. Oh, it caused the Venezuelan economy to go into hyperinflation, and as a result, a bunch of people left the fucking goddamn country. No. What a fucking shocker. Who would have thought? Also, another angle that people need to also think about this for 1 second. Epstein Files is also coming out in about 2 days. He's coming up with like more ridiculous, idiotic fucking bullshit. That stupid address that he had recently today as well. Him essentially declaring war on Venezuela, because this is an act of war. This is an act of war. Doing a complete blockade of the country because they can just argue that, well, every oil tanker is sanctioned from Venezuela because, well, you know, I said so. This is an act of war. You can't just fucking do this randomly without much evidence to suggest whatsoever, but whatever. I wonder why a bunch of people are emigrating from Venezuela. Oh, it's because of this coup attempt and then the subsequent sanctions that you did, causing the economy to go into hyperinflation, and a bunch of people left the fucking goddamn country as a result of this fucking coup attempt you did. What a shock. Also, by the way, the idea that it's illegal aliens that Maduro is also sending is really fucking strange. Like, he ordered a bunch of people, like, go in there and, like, I don't know, cause a bunch of ruckus within the United States of America, because that's going to help, like, bolster anti-imperialism within South America, and or I don't know. It's just nonsensical. Like, I don't understand what this means. Are being returned to Venezuela at a rapid pace. America will not allow criminals, terrorists, or other countries to rob, threaten, or harm our nation, and likewise will not allow a hostile regime to take our oil, land, and other assets. What fucking land, oil, and assets is Venezuela taking from the United States of America? What the fuck are you talking about? What? I'd argue that Juan Guaido is an asset of the United States, and his dumbass got sent back to the United States of America. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Huh? It's not your oil. That's within their borders. That's their oil. Like, that's how that fucking works. It's just nonsensical. Like, imagine if Mexico decided to justify a invasion of Texas because just like, oh, well, that's our oil. Like, yeah, like we used to own this like land like 300 years ago. That oil was protected to us, was promised to us rather, by fucking Vishnu or whatever, and we need to have the oil of fucking Texas. Like, the United States would not tolerate any of that shit. Genuinely fucking insane. All of which must be returned to the United States immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Genuinely fucking insane. It's just so fucking blatant. And of course, now we have the Venezuela War Powers Resolution failing in the House, a vote of 2011, not 2011, but 211 to 213. I have no idea who this one Democrat is. Primary them. Get rid of them. 9 people rather, not fucking voting. Very, very cool. Fantastic. Excellent. Those 5 Democrats should be reminded for as to who the fuck they are, because of the fact that this is a rather blatant attempt for the fucking President of the United States to declare war on Venezuela over what exactly? I don't know, some like schizophrenic conspiracy theory that the President of the United States of America believes in, where he thinks that Nicolas Maduro is using narco terrorist traffickers or whatever in order to ship in a bunch of drugs to destroy the United States of America. Even though, again, he's made it very blatant and very clear what this has all been about since the beginning. Just a naked attempt to just take the fucking oil. But what do we have here? The big man himself is also talking about this.
So thank you very much for being there. Yeah, she's doing a great job.
Great job. Oh, also, by the way, even if the attempted invasion and occupation is successful, no guarantees of that, obviously. You don't want to know what would happen if the United States takes over Venezuela? It is estimated that it would take about 10 years to build the proper facilities needed to extract Venezuelan fucking crude. Because Venezuelan crude is generally sort of regarded as very, very like shit quality crude oil. Not in comparison to that of like the Middle East in comparison, but it is generally seen as not as fucking good quality and requires a lot more refinement in comparison to say Middle Eastern crude, for example.
Just a blockade. Not going to let anybody going through that shouldn't be going
Byron
through.
Gonzalez,
You remember they took all of our energy rights.
Also, I find it really funny how it's just like, it's just a blockade, you know, it's not a big... That's an act of war. If you just blockade someone's, like, ports of entry, like, all of a sudden for no reason, that you are declaring war. Like, that's not how that works. Yeah, listen, like, energy rights... Like, I thought that the United States of America was, like, the biggest producer of fucking crude oil and fossil fuels on the fucking planet. And now they have to invade Venezuela for their oil? It doesn't make any fucking sense. No. Like, they just want to do the fucking invasion for the fact that his dumbass is still salty about the fact that his coup attempt was a miserable failure.
They took all of our oil from not that long ago, and we want it back. But they took it. They illegally took it.
I don't know. Like, you're the one who decided to deploy a fucking SEAL team in order to repatriate, rather, a shipment of Venezuelan oil for yourselves. It's just nonsensical, dude. Like, very, very stupid. You know, they took our oil rights. We had a lot of oil there. As you know, they threw our companies out, and we want it back. Yeah, they threw your fucking companies out because the Venezuelans deposed their fucking goddamn dictator, right? That the United States implemented through a fucking coup, as they did throughout the 60s, throughout all of Latin and South America. They deposed that fucking dumbass dictator, voted in fucking Hugo Chavez in the elections, put leftists in charge, and what did the leftists do? Kick out all the private institutions exploiting the fucking goddamn oil, and also nationalize the fucking oil under the fucking state. Something that they are allowed to do as a country with sovereignty. They are allowed to make their own fucking decisions. But not for this fucking toddler, this troglodyte, this moron, this idiot, who only thinks in, like, I don't know, like the most, like, simplistic, like, 3-year-old ways on the fucking planet. Like, it's just nonsense, dude. Like, they took our oil rights. It's like, no, dude. They kicked out all the U.S. companies that were operating out of there, all the private companies that were working there, because the people deposed their military dictator that was in Venezuela, and they were forced to fucking leave after the resources got fucking nationalized, the companies got fucking nationalized. So it's nonsensical. But yeah, like, this is the current sort of Venezuela war watch. He is currently, unironically, I think this is just an act of war. This is just an act of war. Just doing a fucking blockade of Venezuela, of ports of fucking goddamn entry into the fucking country. For what exactly? Just to get more fucking oil. And this is going to be a complete fucking disaster, by the way, if they do the fucking invasion and occupation of the country. This is going to make Iraq look like a fucking cakewalk in comparison. Venezuela is pretty mountainous. It's very, very fucking jungly outside of the main cities. Lots of fucking jungles. Good luck going in there and getting rid of the Venezuelan fucking military. Good luck with that, buddy. And they would have to occupy the country for at least 10 plus years before these facilities to even be able to start extracting that fucking oil is even able to occur. Not to mention all the sabotage attempts that could potentially happen from a populace which is going to be actively hostile to their occupiers. Because that's another aspect that you have to consider this. The Venezuelans do not want the United States of America in their fucking country. They do not want them there. So to even like, I don't know, like operate under the assumption for even 3 fucking goddamn seconds that, oh yeah, we're just doing this because we just want to take the oil. We just want to take the oil, and we're just gonna do this for ourselves. To think that the Venezuelan people are not gonna fucking put a goddamn fight up against that is nonsensical and genuinely fucking insane. Which is why this idea that the Trump administration is trying to pursue is also genuinely fucking insane. And honestly, I think it's more or less safe to say that I think you guys are more or less officially at war with fucking Venezuela. Because a blockade is pretty much as close as you're going to fucking get to an invasion. That is an active war. Like, unironically. But yeah, like, I don't know if this is like the final sort of a card to play from the Trump administration to try to force Maduro to capitulate and sort of come to the table to negotiate some unfavorable deal with the Trump administration. I don't think it's going to work because Venezuela and the Venezuelan people do not like the United States of America because of how hostile this fucking dipshit who's currently in power is being to them. Not to mention how Biden really didn't help mend any of the situation whatsoever. At least he's not randomly like reappropriating random cargo shipments of Venezuelan oil tankers. Fucking insane that he did that. But yeah, I don't think there's really much else to say besides Trump. This is fucking insane, and I'm going to say this again. So much for being the anti-war fucking president. Always a complete fucking nonsensical shit show. Always a complete lie from these fucking charlatans. They never believed in being anti-war to begin with. It was always a complete fucking hooey, poppycock, and complete utter nonsense. But then again, I shouldn't be really surprised that this is exactly what is coming out of this criminal fucking administration. Nice. That wasn't too bad. There's so much to cover, folks. I really do just hate how the Trump administration is just wholeheartedly incapable they're just wholeheartedly incapable of taking responsibility for anything. Responsibility? What's that? I don't know what that is. Who the fuck are we raiding out to today? Right out to a sad grill. Sad George Foreman. No raid settings don't allow me to raid at this time because I have no viewers. No bitches, no viewers. It's over for me. bitches. Let's raid out to Jason's society then. Alright, idiots. Raid messages, you know what to do, you know what to say. Stride with the Dahariba if you're a sub. If you're a non-sub, with the Dahariba. If you're a non-sub, you do the WoW with the Dahariba. It's how we show appreciation. Those are into case gamers. I will be back tomorrow. Pretty much, I think we're over the hill, the sickness. So I should be more okay tomorrow. So no biggie. Should be all good. Anywho, gamers, I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place, same face. Peace out, gamers.